and welcome to the My RC Life YouTube channel, where we send RCs through the air and then back on the bench to repair. Let's go!
What's going on, everybody? Traxxas Mike from My RC Life. Last time we were out running this HPI Savage was in a open blacktop parking lot. I ended up crashing it, and I ended up with one back wheel having some rear steer option. It's supposed to be held in place with this rod onto that end there. What happened is this whole piece right here broke off from the plastic. See, there's no eyelet in there. So I got on the old internet and got me some parts. First thing that came in were these. When I tore it apart, you see how this end there, it looks like bent up, and you can like flex it quite easily. So I didn't want to keep running this one, so I went ahead and ordered this whole thing. It came, they were takeoffs from a complete truck, an HPI Savage, and I think I paid, it was under 20 bucks for them. And what you got is you got 4 of these links, enough to do the front and rear axles, and then it gave you an extra steering rack, which is not wrong with, nothing's wrong with that on my truck, but this is just what it sends along with. And it gave you 2 new steering horns, a 23 spline and a 24 spline, if you ever change up your servo. I don't even know what spline this one has on it, but it's obviously working. Yeah, if you look at this one compared to the old one, see, this one's flexed up. This one's nice and straight both ways. Now, I went ahead and I downloaded some stuff. This is an exploded view of the HPI Savage. The gearbox assembly rear. Okay. Now we want to go, we're going down to the length of these bars right here. Can you see that bar? Okay, so we want to dial those right into 44.5 on the rear. Okay, and what else we got in the mail? Let's see. All right, a new wheelie bar, so it'll be able to do backflips again. Yes. One more, and you can probably guess what this is. I got the new bar, but I also need that new piece. And I got a full set of 4 of these. 44.7. We're going to call that good enough. Alright, so next I'm going to need to take this whole deal off from here. It looks like 2 Phillips head screws, and that's it. Now this one's clogged with a bunch of dirt and stuff. Alright. And that allows this whole piece to slide out just like that. And then we're going to need to slide our axle out. Now, if this was a standard HPI hex, you would just pop your hex out, push your pin out, and you'd be done. But I have upgraded hexes because if any of you guys have owned one of these, you'll know they have them crappy old lug nuts on there that always fell off. And they were just the worst lug nut design in the world. And Even on the new Savage they just came out with, they kept that same style lug nut. I mean, what were you thinking, HPI? They're junk. They needed to go to something like this, because this is where it's at as far as when it comes to HPI Savage hexes. Alright, so you got a little hex right in there. I'm going to put this on and get my impact on there. I'm just going to hold it with a pair of pliers. I had them Loctited on there a little bit. See what they are is they're tapered. And they go in there and that hole is tapered, so it goes in and it locks it right down. And then this would be basically the hex. Pop that off, then you got your pin. Pop that out. There you go, you got your axle stub out. Then you just want to pop out your inner and outer bearing. Okay, got that one out. Time to get this one out. All right, both bearings out. See how they feel? Oh, they feel just beautiful. A little dirty, but beautiful. I don't think I've ever had to change a bearing on this truck. They must just have totally superior bearings than some of their competitors. Now, these things that I got, they came together with this piece and this piece. What I did by taking the 2 bolts out of this is basically separated this from that. And there ain't nothing wrong with this particular piece on this. So I don't think I'm going to change that. If you want to yourself, there's just a little C-clip right there. You pop that off, this pin will slide through and that'll pop off. And then one more Phillips screw you got to undo there. And then that whole thing will come off and you could replace this whole deal. So anyways, since I'm just going to be replacing this part, we're going to take one of these and unassemble it to get the part that we need. All right, that's the part we need. Let's go ahead and pop our bearings in. Inner and outer are both the same, so we didn't have to keep track of which one went where or anything like that. All right, last little bit. It's going kind of tight. So I grabbed a 7/16 socket. Lines up right with the outer race just perfectly. I could feel it slip right down. And then I felt it kind of smack to the stop as well. Okay, so the dog bone fell out. We're going to want to get that back in there. Get our stub axle installed in there. Put our pin back in place. I like to put the Loctite on right now because when this is on, you can't get to the stud to put the Loctite on. I put on a decent amount because these Savages are known to toss lug nuts, even though these are better ones. Put a lot of Loctite on them. I haven't had any problems since I've got these lug nuts. But I think it probably has a lot to do with me putting plenty of Loctite on it. Alright, and we're going to put this on. It's going to go in there and bottom out. And we're going to zip her down here. Plenty. Alright, we got that on there. We're going to put this on just like so. Line up our dog bone inside of there with our outer axle stub. We're going to put these 2 pins in, one in the top, one in the bottom. Okay, got them on. Now the only other thing we have left is taking this, like this one is still good, but it's, you know, that plastic's way too flexy. It's going to break right there very soon, if you ask me. So we're going to change that one with this one. Now I like to get a bigger washer and put that on our bolt. So if this happens to pop out of its eyelet, it won't fall all the way off. It'll just kind of be loose in there. All right, so here we go. Okay, that's in there. Now all we got to do is get the nut on the back side. Okay, I have the nut here. We're gonna go ahead and just stick it on here a little bit. Start it up as far as we can. Spin this on as much as we can until our Phillips head starts spinning. Okay, once it starts to spin, just give her a little bit more tightening with this. All right, there we go. Now all we have is this one bolt here that connects the other side. All right, I think this wasn't supposed to have a nut on the back. This one over here does not have a nut on the back. But this one does. I think it was because it was stripped out. Whoever I bought it from had a problem and stripped it out and took the Phillips head screw out of it and put this Allen head in it. Well, I need one a little bit longer now. Okay, I found one, same thread, same size Allen head, quite a little bit longer. We're going to change over our washer from this one over to this one. Okay, that's pushed through. All right, we got our plier, our nut on there. Got our little wrench in here. Okay, that's on there. Bam. All right, let's get this new wheelie bar installed. What this is going to consist of is 2 bolts. I'm just going to go ahead and take those off right now. If you look, you can see right there. Then on the opposite side, right there. Okay. Pull these out. We also got 2 bolts on the top here, Phillips head. Big old long boys. Okay. I'm going to take my flat screwdriver. I'm going to flex this up so you can, let's pop this whole part right out right here. Put it right here and just pry up on these. See how it's coming off just like that? Same thing on the other side. Then these ought to come right off the back. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and get into my bag of hardware. I'm going to pull out the bearings. One bearing on this side, one bearing on that side. I think the bigger wheel is the better wheel to use than the smaller one. Okay, we're going to slide that on this side. And they'll press on there really hard. All right. And same with this one. You can even take it right off of there and make sure you're getting it all the way pressed on just by looking at it. You can see when it hits that shoulder. I can't go any further. Okay, perfect. Now I don't have the rest of the wheelie bar with me with the wheel and stuff, so I don't have the bolt that I needed, but they do right in here. So this long bolt and the bigger nut is what goes in your wheelie bar. See, the one side's got a hex and the other side don't. So your bolt goes through this way. And then your hex side would take the nut there. What you can actually do is press the nut in there like that. And then slowly start tightening up your screw. Tighten that all the way up. No need to Loctite it because it is a lock nut. Alright, so then we'll just push these back up through that slot in the bumper there. Push those right back up in. And you might remember before when we popped these bad boys off. These guys here. These ones do have the old nuts and hardware and stuff in there, but I'm just going to use the new ones they provided. Each one of these have a recessed area for a nut as well. So go ahead and recess that nut up in there. Stick that on. And then put our bolt in. Now don't push this bolt too hard because then you'll shove your nut all the way through. These ones are actually Allen heads. Okay, we got that in there. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and get our rear bumper back installed. Now that wheelie bar's got that gap right there. And our bumper, this is going to go right in between that gap. Just like that. You just pop these into these little holes here. These little deals go back on it. I didn't show these coming off because I had already done this prior to the video. But yeah, they just pop right on there. Just like these little C-clip, plastic C-clip things. Okay, got that on. And we got these long Phillips that go down through here. One more thing we're going to be doing to this Savage to make it great again is we're going to put a new body on it. I got this body I was going to put on the Techno, but I didn't like it, so I went to a wide. I went this with the same body, but a wide style one. Just wider body is all. We're going to use this because, hey, it's here and it's not getting used on anything. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paint marker and just kind of put a little excess paint on the top here. Get it centered, front to back, side to side. Alright, now that puts us some pretty guesstimate holes. Now I measured the width of these and they're about 300 thousandths, 0.300. And a 5/16 drill is 0.3125. So we're going to go ahead and use that, 5/16 drill. I don't like how those ones pop right so close to the windshield. And the Savage body mounts can be flipped. So I'm going to pop them out. Really easy to pull out and flip them. Pull that out, flip them around, pop the pins back in, and then I'm going to just go ahead and drill the rear ones. Let's see, I want to put this a little bit left of the hole. Nope, I keep wanting to walk sideways. Well, if I did a good job, I should be able to pop this back in here. And these should pop right out. Let's see. Haha, look at that, guys. Perfect. And now we're going to go ahead and smack those down. Now there's our new holes right there. Alright, let's see if this works. Back pops in and the front pops in too, just like that, guys. Yeah! Alright, that looks good, don't it? Slap some tires back on her. I'm going to go ahead and drop just a little bit of Loctite on these. All right, guys, there you go. That's it for now. I'm Traxxas Mike from My RC Life, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching another episode of My RC Life. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.